Ay 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 hey ay 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 hey ay 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 hey ay hey.
Ay, 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 ay.
Greetings, all of my friends, relations, and canoe family members. My name is Ron So. I'm the safety officer or the safety chairman for this year's canoe journey at Lummi Indian Nation. And today we're going to be discussing and talking about safety concerns for the canoe families as they continue their journey for this year and for years to come. Today we're gracious to be on the beaches and shores of the 2003 sponsors of the canoe journey, the Tulalip Indian tribe. Just to give a little background as to who I am and what I'm about, I'm Navajo from the Navajo Nation, and I've been up here since 1978. I'm a canoe paddler with the Autumn Rose Canoe Club, paddling both the war canoes and the outriggers. And in 2003 was my first journey with the canoe journey with my elder, Smitty Hilaire, who asked me to participate. Both myself and my son participated in that, and I've been in and out of most of these journeys throughout the past years based upon what work schedule I have. I also work for the Department of Homeland Security, Immigration and Customs Enforcement. I'm assigned to our Air and Marine Unit, and I've had extensive training in safety and boating procedures out here on the Puget Sound. And I've been in this capacity for a number of years, and I've had various training in first aid safety, EMT certified. So some of the things I'm going to be talking about today are based upon my experience of being out there in the water, being a paddler, and being exposed to the elements that are out there. The skipper of your canoe is the main person that you're going to have to be talking to, because he sets the stage for everything. His responsibilities, he knows what they are, and he knows what he needs to do. And today, all I'm going to do is give those of you who are watching this taping an idea of what can be expected, what is needed to be done, and how you as a participant in here will have some knowledge as to what you need to do. Okay, one of the things we're going to be talking about now is flotation safety devices, PFDs, or personal flotation devices. And that's exactly what they are. They're personal flotation devices. In order for them to be used and correctly used, you have to put them on properly. And they have to be on in order to work. But being a canoe puller, we all know that they obstruct us the way that we pull. They're hard to climb back into the canoe if it tips over and we have to upright it. But as bad as it seems, we need to overcome some of those things in order for us to get through. Now, I'm an avid strong swimmer, maybe medium, but I can only tread water for a little while. And we don't have flippers on or anything else. So it's going to be very hard for us to stay afloat. And as we fight to stay afloat, our strength leaves us. And once that strength starts to leave us, then we become susceptible to going under the water, not being able to maintain our buoyancy. This is what these flotation devices are for. Here I have with me a full-bodied suit. You can see that it's bulky, it's big, it's cumbersome, and it's just not going to cut it as a canoe paddler. You can see the difficulties that you're going to have with it. It's hard to get into, and it's not going to be anything you'd like to utilize unless you're a passenger in the boat on a very bad rainy day. It will provide a lot of protection. Next, we have what is called a jacket, PFD jacket. Again, it's half the size of this minus the legs, but you can still see it's bulky. It's hard to pull a canoe in, but it might be something appropriate for somebody who's a passenger in your boat. Next, we have various PDFs that are worn, that can be worn. This is a standard issued one. The problem with these is if they're not a paddling model, you can be chafed in the arms or anywhere else where you're rubbing against it. And I still have scars to prove that they're hard on you. Probably the best ones to go to are these. This is what we refer to as a harness belt. Harness belt has the inflatable device in it, which inflates when you get into the water, or can be done manually by pulling on the red or yellow handle here. These are great. I've used them in competitions with canoe paddling races and as well as the canoe journey I've used these in. And probably the best one, which I know everybody doesn't like to wear one, and it's one way to probably get everybody to use one, is one of these. This is a vest that is mounted to the waist and sits off to the side. When you pull the ring, it self-inflates and unfolds. The only problem with this is you have to manually take the vest once it inflates and put it over your head. And if you're in trouble, or if you've been knocked unconscious by your head hitting the edge of the canoe as it comes over, you're going to be in trouble. These are the only drawbacks with these. The other drawback is that they're very costly. These you can probably throw in the boat. Maybe somebody will step on them or do something with them. It's not going to hurt them or damage them that much. If somebody were to step on these and puncture the material here, it would make it useless and you'd have to buy a new one. This year and in subsequent years, all of these have to have a whistle attached. If your PFD does not have one, you can go out to any marine sporting goods store and you can buy a whistle with a lanyard for as little as 99 cents to $1.50. Under Washington state law, this is the new requirement for this area. What I have here right now are canoe PDFs that are designed for canoe paddlers. This one from REI, when placed on, allows you to have the movement that you need in the shoulders and the armpits, allows for sufficient room here in the arm area so that you don't get chafed. This particular model here that I'm showing you is one that has been distributed to a lot of our canoe families. It is very inexpensive, very easy to replace, and you could buy probably 6 of these versus the harness or the side belt flotation device. My recommendation is probably one of these would be best utilized because of the change in all of our crews from year to year. A lot of people like to sit on these. These are a little more comfortable. They do allow for a lot of room for the paddler to become accustomed to as they travel. Okay, this particular brand of PDF is one I would recommend. The only bad thing about it is it's almost cost prohibitive. They are running close to, depending on where you buy them, $70 to $100. Most places I talk to will give you 10% discount on quantity if you should buy 10 or more. But these are the ones I like. These are the ones I prefer to use, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. Again, you're in the water. This is one that has a pill in it which dissolves within 10 seconds. If you need it sooner than that, then you have the handle here that will pull it, and I'm going to demonstrate that right now. With this fully opened, you can see the CO2 canister here. You can see where the pill is affixed in here, the manual pull, the whistle that is attached here already. You can see that there is a manual port here from which to blow air in if you don't want to use the CO2 cartridge. From here, I'll take, and it's going to be difficult, I'll put that over my head. With this securely fastened on here and tight, it's already on and ready to go. This is just for securing your neck into the flotation device a little bit more. This has almost 30 pounds of buoyancy to it, which will hold anybody 260 pounds or heavier fairly easy. So you can see with my frame, body frame, I'm running about 220. It's a good one to utilize.